It was time for my postural assessment. Paul asked me some questions about my postural history and any pain I've had through the years, as well as snapped pictures of me from all different sides. The pictures are then uploaded into the Egoscue software, which places it up against a grid to show postural imbalances. It's kind of like an x-ray of your external posture. These findings were both incredible and very humbling.
So we're leaning back, what we call sway back, and then the ear is coming forward, and you can see how you're actually looking up, right? And that's going to compensate. So your cervical spine is going to be compensating for the inability of your thoracic to extend, and as well as for that whole sway back. So all those pieces go together, and you're hanging on your abdominals, your upper abdominals. Hips are belt forward. Your glutes, well, you still have a butt right now. Fast forward a few years, and that's just going to keep dropping. Because you're not using them, unless you're in some activities that require them to fire and do some things.
Thank you.
The ear, the shoulder, the hip, the knee, and the ankle should all sit in vertical with a normal S-curve in the spine. Arms sitting at the sides of the body. And then on the front view then, we should have 90-degree angles between the horizontal lines of shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, and then vertically stacked. So we have these 90-degree angles that form at each of the joints. And it's when we're out of the alignment that tells us there's dysfunction, compensation, and therefore a high potential for pain. Your head is trying to get you back to your right side.
Hence the wow, it's all coming together. I didn't want to mention it to you before because I wanted to kind of like not fully, but I didn't want to reveal too much. But I've been diagnosed with like a slight scoliosis at a very young age.
Okay,
not young, maybe probably when I was going through like growth spurts, like in high school and stuff like that.
So was that pre or post wrestling accident?
Probably post wrestling.
So yeah, I mean, look at your head position. So if you did get banged on your neck and that threw you off, then spine's going to accommodate that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please tell me that this is like not like a typical. This is a typical. Because the thing is, I consider myself a pretty healthy dude. Like,
yeah.
And this is so that's outstanding to me to see that, it's also something like almost everybody has chronic pain.
Yeah.
Even people, it's like you tell somebody to relax, they think they're relaxed and they're not even relaxed.
Absolutely. I had a gentleman in here earlier, Parkinson's. He had some work done, and his parasympathetic system is nil. So it's all sympathetic, which is your stress system.
Right. All right, Paul. So I feel like I'm watching a train wreck, and I'm in the train wreck and watching the train wreck at the same time.
Right.
I can't take anymore. Just tell me what I need to do to fix it.
Gotcha. Well, and the first thing to know is it's all fixable. This is, again, stimulus response. What have you been asking your body to do? This is what it's done to accommodate the environments or the type of stimulus that you've given it. So what we need to do is we need to add some new stimulus. So one of the other cool things that we do here is then we take that and we go, okay, well, let's actually look at your position, not from, how big are your muscles or, how big is my butt or something like that.
Both gigantic.
Let's look at, how your posture actually aligns relative to the plumb line here. So we're looking at the position of your knees, the position of your hips, and so forth. So we said that left knee is more flexed than the other side. We have some tilt forward on both sides. The right shoulder likes to come forward in terms of rotation. We said that the knees are out on both sides, but the left one is more out to the side. And then your left foot is out, but your right foot is actually out more. So that's some torsion going out there. We also talked about the right foot being pronated.
How do you remember this?
The right hip is elevated.
This is my body. I don't know. I just know I have a lower shoulder. That's
right.
it.
And then this is tilted over here, and then we had some lateral flexion here. So, and then don't forget about the ear thing too. So that's tilted and leaning over that way also. So all those different things that we saw in your posture, it all comes down to these deviations from the 90-degree angles. And so what the system recognizes is that we need to return you back to 90-degree angles. So what we can do is we can hit the button here, and it'll give you suggestions based on what your body is doing and what it needs to do. So then the exercises, what we'll do is we'll actually look through some of these, and this is a long list, so we'll pare that down to just get you started today. But for instance, if we click on one of those, then we can see this is going to be part of your homework. This is, of course, individualized to you and catered to your body. So you talked about the book, and the book has some general recipes or menus for different people in terms of their symptoms and so forth, the pain-free book. And then when people come in here, then what we do is we, dissect their body, look more at it in terms of what it's doing.
Right.
We'll look at you walk, or we'll do some functional tests, really get an idea of what's going on. Or people who have multiple symptoms and they go, well, where the heck do I start in the book? Right. Well, there's so much more that you can do and possibly need to do. Whereas some people, they just use the book and they get better. And that's okay too. But it's a matter of doing something. So again, this is about stimulus, reminding your body how it's supposed to work. Because we all have a design that's specific.
This is really helpful. I know for myself in the book, everything I did made it feel better.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, my shoulders, well, I'll do the shoulder exercise.
Right.
And my back, I'll do the back exercise. But
cool.
Knowing that everybody's different, probably has a different, unique structural imbalance, I guess, to put them back, makes sense that they have a unique exercise menu. But either way, person has to take ownership and actually do the exercise.
And that's the great thing about it too. Yeah, it's the good news and the bad news.
Yeah.
Good news is you can take over, you can take charge of your health and do something about it on your own, because you're the expert on your health. And every other healthcare practitioner should tell you that same thing.
I'm committing to you and to the viewers that I will be doing these exercises for 30 days. And I could probably commit up to a half an hour a day.
Okay, cool.
So some maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but if that's a target market, because I would also think someone that wants to do this and coming to a clinic, everyone has a half an hour if they really.
Absolutely.
Maybe people have 3 hours a day if this is a priority, right?
Yeah.
But if we could find something like for half an hour, and I will commit to doing it at least 6 days a week.
Okay,
maybe one day
awesome.
I'm going to sleep in later.
Great. Well, and that'll be counteracting the weeks, months, years of what you've been doing. So something is better than nothing.
Awesome.
Right, and then maybe at the end of those 30 days, come back in, we'll reassess. And then we'll see where you're at, and then what it'll give us a gauge of is not just how effective were the exercises, but how well did your body respond to the stimulus that was given. So typically when people come in, we see them over a series, and then it's not just a sort of set point out there, but all in all, it should be positive stimulus for your body and definitely move you forward.
Cool. Well, let's do it. Let's print up some exercises and.
Cool.